some ways, at some point in your life, everybody can be a lost rider. Good morning and welcome to the second half of this week's News from the Camp House. Tell you what, we're here this morning with Ms. Rebecca Jones, who is on multiple board of directors for multiple conservation groups. Expertise lies in personnel, finding the right person for the right job. And that's remarkable. How many of us hire duds and then need somebody, wind up hiring a dud and then, you're just throwing money away and you got to go find somebody else. But you put a plug in all that.
Oh my goodness. I wish that there was the easiest answer on that. Nobody ever goes out and hires somebody thinking they're going to be a dud. And no one ever turns up. I mean, maybe there are some people that turn up thinking, ha ha ha, suckers, I got them. But, for the most part, when you hire somebody to join you in your company, you're really, really rooting for them to be really great. And
right now we're seeing it. They're getting rid of about 80% of D.C., so, they're cleaning Washington out. We're getting rid of all the duds.
Oh, my goodness. We're not, we want to go down that path. Holy moly. I will say this, as someone who's been through a lot of organizations and done organizational redesign, there is a really right way to treat people. And I think that's the big thing I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Change is important and challenging the status quo is important, but there is always a way that people should be treated, and it should be with respect and it should be with courtesy. And so that's something I'm going to push right on in there.
All right. Yeah, but go ahead. I'll tell you what I really want to know about was, okay, you said you're on DSC board and which other one?
Texas Wildlife Association.
TWA.
Yeah, TWA and Her Upland.
Okay. What?
Her Upland.
Her Upland. Okay, yes, that's the Montana one. Yes, no. Okay, so we're on 3 different boards. Roughly the same job on each board?
Yeah, so as a yes, and at the end of the day, the board of directors is there to make sure that good, smart decisions are being made by the management team, that the interests of the members and the volunteers or exhibitors or whatever it is the right thing is being done and the funds are being used properly. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility for boards to be operating in the background to make sure that happens. But then my role might adjust a little bit on each of these. And the TWA is a great example because I'm also sitting on the convention committee. So a lot of the boards will have different committees as well that the directors and various volunteers will get involved in. So you probably know this year's the 40th anniversary of Texas Wildlife Association. And so we do a really big convention in July. And so I'm on the committee that's helping put that convention together this year and making it one of our biggest and best.
Cool. Yes, I've been to that TWA convention. I hadn't been in a while. I'd like to go again. It is, okay, TWA is a little bit different animal than DSC.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yes. It very much is in terms of, there's a lot of overlap, actually. There is a lot of overlap, but I guess the genesis of the organizations are a little different and the origins too. But at the end of the day, conservation and advocacy for either landowners' rights or hunters' rights or wildlife, the goals overlap and are very similar.
Right. There's a lot of overlap. The TWA, I think, and I don't know, I might be wrong. DSC, you see them a little more internationally, I think, whereas TWA is more localized.
Very Texas focused, yeah,
right.
For sure.
And then I think TWA, with their game awards, big game awards, I think that's a little bit more accentuated than DSC's, I think.
A little, and again, I would say it's a geographical focus, probably more so. Texas Wildlife Association really focuses on Texas and what goes on here at the state. So the advocacy is much more focused on Texas. So when we go to the Capitol, we're going to the Capitol in Austin.
Right.
When we're joining we were just recently there at the 89th legislature and talking to lawmakers there. But the focus was on Texas.
Right.
And so, there's great advocacy work being done there. The other thing that I think that TWA does extremely well is hunter education, or this focus on hunter heritage. And so the education that happens, whether it's in the schools, they do these incredible discovery kits that teachers can have.
Curriculum.
Yeah, they've got curriculum, exactly.
Yes.
Incredible educators. They have the Texas Youth Hunting Program, which has brought, I think, tens of thousands of kids really into the hunting space. And they have an adult education program, which is the Adult Learn to Hunt program, which I actually went through. I shot my first big game animal through the TWA Adult Learn to Hunt program, and have since become a mentor in that program, and have gone out and helped somebody else take their first whitetail.
Oh, okay.
So, the education side, which I think is very smart of the organization. One of the ways to continue to get members is to make sure you've got members who are participating. I think a more active, engaged member is a member who sees a way to participate, whether it's through hunting or education, coming to the conventions. And I think that's where there's a lot of similarities too with DSC. In that, the more engaged the membership base is, whether they are exhibitors, whether they're participating in the local chapters. DSC has 23 chapters based all around the U.S., but they really encourage participation, and I think that's important. I think you can be an observer and contribute, but I think if you're a participant, you're taking your contribution just that little bit further, and you're a little bit more vested in the outcome.
Okay. All right. No, I absolutely believe that's correct. And then the Upland,
Yeah.
that's where you teach ladies to go out and sick dogs on a little bitty bird and blast him when he.
Do you know how delicious those little bitty birds are?
I used to pick on those quail hunters down in Mexico so bad, because they kind of carried their nose in the air, and then I'd tell them, I said, well, I just don't see it. You drive around in a vehicle with the dogs on the front, and when you spot them little bitty old chee-chee birds, I said, you sick of dogs on them, and then you blast them with a 12 gauge. I think poor little birds ain't got a chance. And they
Have you met half the hunters out there? Those shotgun shooters. There's a lot of point and release that goes on with those birds too. Trust me.
I just would do that just to be hateful to them fellas that came down there to shoot quail. Because you stick your nose up in there, I'm gonna find a way to pick on you.
You gotta keep those people on their toes. I love it. But her Upland does it focuses on getting women and girls outside. Number one, get outside. Let's start there. But it teaches them how to confidently and independently bird hunt with their own dog, and in most cases on public land. Mm-hmm. So we put on dog training camps. So if you have a dog, you've somehow managed to decide that you have a pointing dog, and you're trying to figure out how to train that dog, you could send it to a trainer, or you could also come to one of the camps that we put on, and we teach you how to.
Where at in Montana?
So they're actually, the camps are held all over. So we hold a grouse camp and up in just outside of Missoula in Montana, okay. But we also have pointing dog camps up in Montana as well. See, I should have the full list etched in my brain, but we actually have a couple of these all over the country. So we don't just hold them in Montana; we actually hold them in other states as well across the.
Well, that's what I was wondering about, because all your dog stuff. I mean, that's all the way from here to there. Yeah. Everybody does that.
No, absolutely. And we do hunting camps as well, where you can come into camp, you learn how to hunt, and you can bring your dog as well. So we do a quail camp down in Arizona. So come along to camp. We hold that just north of Phoenix. And you come into camp. We're on public land, and you bring your dog, and we're going to teach you how to hunt quail, and you're going to go out there and get after it. And so that's the sort of, focus that we have, and we're fundraising to be able to make it really affordable for people, because upland hunting can get very expensive and very inaccessible very quickly. So we try to fundraise so that we can offer these camps, whether it's the dog training or the hunting camps, at really affordable prices. We've been able to keep them under $1,000 for 4 to 5 days worth of camps, which is incredible.
Yes.
But we're also, teaching them how to do this on public land too, which is really neat, to be able to take advantage of these resources that are available to all of us.
Cool. No, this is all good stuff. This is all good stuff. And of course, like we're saying, you're doing it for free.
Doing all of this for free. Because I love it. I love it.
There you go. Rebecca, we're out of time this morning, but I really appreciate you being with me and my listeners.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure being here with you. Thank you.
All right. Folks, I hope you enjoyed it this morning. Interesting topic. Hope you learned something. This week's edition was also brought to us by the Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club folks who don't have a country club. Now, go out, enjoy the weekend, have a big time, have lots of fun. Be safe, and y'all just remember, pretty much any day is sure a good day to be out in the woods.